We have the skull with the gaping mouth opened, almost like screaming in silence. So today I'm here in Bruges in Belgium, and this is called Cemetery of the Skull, believe it or not. What a great name for a cemetery. And we are in the old section, so we're going to take a walk around and see what's on offer here. Some of these beautiful old graves. This is an old vault. They look like actually eagles up the top with wings. So the interesting thing about this old cemetery here is there's some post-mortem photographs on some of the graves, and the Victorians were fascinated by death, and they used to put mostly babies, photographs of them on the graves. So it's interesting to see that. But firstly, I want to go over here and show you a very interesting grave, one that a lot of people come here to see. And it's the grave of a merchant, wine and textile merchant from Bruges here. And when you see this grave, you will be gobsmacked. That's a lovely little grave there. Look at that, like a little house. So just in here is the famous grave with the skull and crossbones and the moss on it. So this is the grave of Antoine Michel Wemea. And as I was saying, he was a wine and textile merchant. So he was born in 1763 and he passed away in 1837. And I think his wife Marie is also buried here. But just look at this. We have the skull with the gaping mouth opened, almost like screaming in silence. And I actually think the green moss gives it that extra detail to it. Beautiful. Beautiful grave, and what a great way to go out. To have that on your grave. Here we have another beautiful angel on top of this. Albert Joseph de Klerk. And it looks like he was 7 years old when he passed away. He died in 1932 and was born in 1925. And a beautiful photograph of the little boy holding the flowers. Look at that. Super. Wow, look at this one. Hendrik Pickery. And we have a Mathilde Van Nest. Kind of looks like Albert Einstein there, doesn't he? Very much like Albert Einstein. The angels carrying the tomb. Super monument. So I'm looking for this grave, the post-mortem photograph. I really want to show you that. Looks like the name of this is Jan Hooft. Hoofdman, 1859 to 1881. And it looks like a crown up top there with the swords. So that's actually could be a royalty connection there. I'll have to look that one up. So I'm just after arriving here and was never here before, so forgive me if I don't pronounce any of these right or know them. This is Morris Favau, Magistrate. Maybe he was a writer, or magistrate could be like legal, the legal side of things. There's a beautiful cemetery here, surrounded by trees, hidden away all these old graves. Joseph Florent. He died in 1931. Right guys, so I think I found the post-mortem one, the photograph, and it's just in here. So this is Tot Ander Andenken, 1920 to 1922. So this child was 2 years old. I'm just trying to get in and show you what I was talking about. Look at that. We can see the child in death, the photograph. Wow. So rest in peace to the little child that's buried there. And you know, I suppose they took photographs of the children more than adults a lot of the time, because it would have been the only photograph, I suppose, they would have of the baby or the child at the time. Another one here with some really nice photos. We see a man here with his medals on. Wow. We have an old vault here, look at this one. Sylvie Provost, 1867 to 1949. So inside we have lots of fresh flowers in there, look at that. Right, so some of these graves here must be connected to something like military. I just spotted one down here with the skull on it, look at that. So if there's any war buffs or military buffs on my channel, you might understand this because I don't. But it is very cool, isn't it? Right, so let's go back up. I'm going to go into another section and hopefully we'll find some more interesting post-mortem photos and graves. So just like every single grave, I say 99.9% of the graves in this cemetery have photographs on them. And it's something you don't really see in Ireland. It's a lot of photographs on the graves. But here it seems to be like, you know, I suppose it's like a way of, when you come to visit the grave, you see that person again. And some people like it, some people don't. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you like the photographs on the graves? Would you have one of your loved one? So this must be the chapel here. Maybe the mortuary chapel where the funeral takes place. And maybe this is what it looks like inside. There's probably people interred in there in the walls. I wonder is there a crypt in there? That would be interesting if we could get in there. Another interesting family vault. Yeah, it just seems to be an altar area. All those cobwebs. Eugene de Klerk. look in there. It's a statue of an angel, I think. But look at those trees and the pathways, well maintained, well looked after. So it's a credit to the staff, and I actually seen a few earlier going around doing lots of work here. Wow, look at this. This is beautiful. We have photographs of the family in there, look. And a group photo with all the family together, and that's very old, I think. And just up there we have that lantern, look at that. Wow. I'll give you a better look at it from here. This is like it's a tomb with a drape that goes over it kind of style. And that's the family name. Very nice. So I just noticed here, when I'm past it, it is creepy when you're walking around here, because you see the photo on the very left, the guy with the moustache. Now when you're walking, it actually looks like he's following you when you're walking, so it is kind of strange when you're walking around, and there's so many photographs on the graves. And of course, you know, all these people have had a life and a story to come with it. Just look at that, that's what I'm talking about. Look at this scatter of photographs and the old green moss on the grave. Yeah, so I found another post-mortem photo on the grave, and it's another baby. Look at that. How sad. And her little hands, or maybe his little hands, are joined together. Huge family mausoleum here. Joris Vermeulen. It looks like we can go in and have a look. Lots of plaques on the wall. Names of the family members. There's also a seat here, so the family probably come in there and sit down to spend some time with their loved ones and say some prayers. So we did find some very interesting ones so far in the video. The merchant's grave with the skull and crossbones. Very, very unusual. Now this is really sweet. This is what I like to see on the family graves. Looks like the grandchildren have come here and drawn some pictures. And we can see on them there it says, "I love you." So they're leaving little notes for their family members, children. Huge tomb there. I wonder what this is down here. There's an area over here with all these iron crosses inside. Maybe it's military related or something, this shed area here. Let's go in and see. Oh wow, look at in here. Wow. Look at that. Open plan kind of burial area. And the roof going around with all that moss. Trees are growing inside here. Haven't seen anything like this before. Whoa. There's another area with photographs of people. Kunstisrauch, I cannot pronounce that name, guys. If anybody knows what that is, it's just showing photographs of tombs and stuff. And I think it's information about the graves here. But then you have down along photographs of people. Look at that. Engraving one of the graves, the inscriptions. We see another woman there doing another bit of work, stone work on it. But as you turn around and walk over here, we have a hearse. Look at that old hearse. I don't know why these people are buried in the area over this side of the cemetery. Now we do have some names here, like English names. We have here, sacred to the memory of Mary Chantrell, who departed this life in 1847. And a crest here with Fortuna, that name on it. Unless there were, the only thing I can really think of there is that it's military related. I think it could be just people who died in Belgium, maybe, you know, from English origin, and they were buried here in Bruges. This is a coffin-shaped grave, stone coffin. Look at that, with the railing around it. And there's a photograph down here, well, a very faded photograph, where we can just see he has a moustache. And that's about it. Right guys, so that's the end of this video. I'm going to wrap it up here. And I want to thank you for coming on this walk with me today in Bruges, Cemetery of the Skull. So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button. It helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all at the next adventure, and who knows where I'll be. And to find out, you have to follow me. So take care, guys.